The rain drips softly on the rooftops of Stormwind. The summits of Kunlai disappear into a blanket of mist. Even in the barrens, the heat haze is dulled, replaced by a stillness that feels heavier than silence. Classic World of Warcraft taught me to love these moments. Not the rush of a raid night, not the never-ending scramble for world buffs, but the quiet in between. The long flight paths where you stared out over endless green hills, stuck with your own thoughts for perhaps a little too long. These moments had a different weight. The fog or rain wasn't just weather, it was a feeling, a soft veil between you and the world, between who you were and who you were trying to be. A space where small things suddenly carried the weight of the world. Sometimes I wonder if that's why I was drawn to Classic Anniversary in the first place. Not for the raids, but because it felt like a world where you could disappear into the haze and still be seen. Somewhere in those months, in between farming Blackwing Lair for far too long and hitting nearly every single ZG lockout, I found someone. Not in some cinematic quest line, but in the slow way that Classic has taught us to find people. Time spent, words traded, silence shared. It's very strange building something in a world that isn't real. Feeling the quiet comfort of someone who knows you, even in the moments that you don't speak. Even the small moments have mattered. The way that they laugh at a terrible pun, they offer to help you gather materials, the way they notice when something in your tone has shifted. You learn to read someone across text, across voice chat, across time zones. You learn to care quietly. And quite frankly, I can't tell if it's the game that's moody, misty, and miserable, or if it's me. There's a very peculiar rhythm to it as well, like a dance. You know the ups and downs of raids, the tension of a tough pull, the relief when absolutely everything goes to plan. And love, subtle as it is, moves in a similar way. Quiet victories, small defeats, laughter and reassurance, shared silences. A feeling that builds slowly until one day you realize that the game is no longer just a game. It's a backdrop for something very real. I found the romance of logging in not for loot or the accolades, but for someone who made the world feel less empty. And for me, that is enough. Even when the expansions come to their inevitable conclusion, even when the servers shift and merge, even when the world changes in ways you cannot possibly control, the echoes and memories will remain. The world may move on, but the feeling stays. Subtle, patient, alive. Perhaps that's the thing about romance in this world. It doesn't need fireworks. It doesn't even need certainty. It only needs presence, attention, and the willingness to share slices of your life with someone who chooses to notice. And in that subtle intimacy, I found that even the mistiest, loneliest nights are worth showing up for, because someone will be there. Not in a cinematic moment, not in a scripted event, but in these quiet spaces between pulls, between messages, between the pauses in our own hearts. So I log in, again and again, not for achievement, not for mastery, not even for nostalgia. I log in for her, because somewhere in the cold there is warmth, somewhere in the haze there is recognition, and somewhere quietly there is love.